My name's Meredith Stamberger and we're at the Student Sustainable Farm, and I'm the farm manager here. So I'm studying production horticulture, which is really great to be out here because this is where I learn the most. So out here at the farm we have the option of producing on about 5 to 6 acres. Right now we're probably only producing on a little more than 1 acre. We grew a lot of onions. A lot of the onions will be going to the dining halls, and they were grown in a few rows here, and you can see we mulch them with straw, and we have to mulch them really heavily to prevent the light from coming through so the weeds don't come up. But most of them are harvested now, so we harvest them and then we have to let them dry before we cut them and process them and take them to the dining halls. In the fall semester we will have those onions and also a lot of slicing tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, green bell peppers and also sweet peppers. And then later in the fall we will have a lot of greens like salad mixes, lettuce, spinach, kale. And then here you can see 3 rows of tomatoes. We have some cherries and slicing tomatoes and some more cherries. We utilize plastic because it helps keep the weeds down, and also in the summer it keeps the soil cooler. You can see we have to trellis because the tomatoes get really crazy, so we have to pound in the stakes and trellis with string. So as they grow, we do another line of trellis and another line of trellis. And these are grown without any pesticides. These haven't been sprayed at all. Mostly for insect control, we hand pick tomato hornworms. So these tomatoes we already picked today, so there's not many on here, but they're a small red sweet tomato called Jasper. We grow 3 different types of cherry tomatoes. There's this red Jasper, an orange, really sweet variety, and then chocolate cherries, which are more purple. So when we give them to the dining halls, it's a mixture of colors. So sometimes students can tell that they're from the farm because they're not your typical all red cherry tomatoes, but it's kind of like rainbow cherry tomatoes. And here's one of our pepper rows. They aren't really producing any large peppers yet. We planted them late, so we would have a lot for the dining hall in the fall. And last year we had a whole field of peppers, and they were selling 50 to 100 pounds of peppers to the dining halls each week. You can see we have grass aisles, which we mow, and this is really helpful so we can get in the field after it rained instead of keeping them soil. A lot of people will just go through and keep it empty of weeds or anything really, but we can just go through here with a push mower, and that also adds organic matter to the soil every time we mow, which is really important for us because it helps build the fertility of the soil. Over here you can see is summer squash, and these are also one of the plants that take a lot of manual labor because they get these squash bugs on it, and these squash bugs, well, they transfer a disease to the plants, so we have to try and control the squash. But eventually at this time, at the end of the summer, there's so many that we just harvest as much as we can before the squash plants die. But in early summer, we do a lot of hand picking of squash bugs. Well, I started working at the farm as a work study student, so I was working out here 8 hours a week for 1 semester, and then I got 2 credits of class credit. And I wanted to come back after working here for credit just because I learned so much. Everything I learned in class made sense when I did it out here. Also, it really got me into kind of the local sustainable food movement because I saw that it's possible to grow food without synthetic pesticides, synthetic fertilizers. And it just really encouraged me because I wanted to learn how to do that so I can tell other people how they can also grow food while benefiting themselves and also the environment. So the dining halls they partner with us and have been a huge help to us because a lot of our sales are actually directly to the dining halls, which helps us a lot because it's a really close market, so it's not far that we have to take our vegetables to. So the process is we harvest vegetables and we call them weekly, and they're really flexible because we don't always have consistent amounts of vegetables. So we call them weekly and say, we'll have this many tomatoes, can you take them? And usually they'll say yes. So we harvest the tomatoes and we process them inside, so we sort out sizes, wash them off a little bit, and then we deliver them in one of the workers' cars, and we take them to the dining hall. We learn how to do invoices, which kind of helps to learn how to run a business. So we have our own invoices and take them to the dining halls, and we work directly with the chefs. So we know what to plant, and so we know what they can use in the dining halls. When I'm done with graduate school, I might want to pursue a PhD, but I'm also I'm really interested in a job with research that supports sustainable agriculture, researching how we can build the soil to grow food, because it's really all about building a healthy soil so then you can have healthy food.